How now, brown cow? Oh, hello, and welcome to Conversing, and Relating. I'm your co-host, April Autumn Sparks.
And I'm other half of the co-host, life coach Jay Hughes.
Hey, family! It's been a minute. It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Sound like Sam Cooke.
You. No, so you were wrong. The wrong one.
Wrong one?
The wrong one.
The wrong song?
It's been a long time.
Oh, okay, Timberland.
But that is not.
That's Timberland's song.
No, it's not.
Timberland made the beat.
Rakim and.
Oh, you going
yes,
that.
You know who I am.
Original, okay.
Thank you. Is it? Yes, the original.
My bad.
Don't be waving me off.
My bad.
Again, welcome.
Been a while.
It's been a long time, family. It's been a long time. We've been busy. And
this is not the word. We've been on go.
Yeah.
We've just been on go.
Mashing the gas.
Mashing the gas. Doing our thing. Traveling, reaching other clients, we just been going.
Shout out to North Carolina.
Shout out to North Carolina. Treated us so well.
We spent September in North Carolina. We had to see Grace and Isaiah. Hey, y'all.
Hey, how we doing?
And hung out there, saw some clients there, really great. Had an event.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful in the summer soiree. So it was really great to have some FaceTime with people, not just the screen of, Zoom or telehealth or whatever, and really get out and meet and greet and talk and, make plans for the new season.
Yeah. We got to shake a lot of hands. We didn't kiss any babies.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, no babies there. But you had the brunch, too, that was there.
Yes, so I had a women's brunch, and it was a working brunch where women really focused on, what they really wanted to do for the new season, which was amazing. So shout out to them, North Carolina ladies. They really worked hard.
They did.
And really looking at what they were bringing in and what they want to do in the next season. And speaking of all of that, right, we have some events that are coming up in the Houston area. H-Town. Hey. And so doing some of the similar things, but with a different spin. So the ladies will have a Harvest and Crown brunch on next Sunday, November the 2nd. If you are interested, please email me or go to the website www.aprilautumnsparks. April the month, autumn the season, sparks as in sparksfly.com.
Right.
And send me a message and I'll get you all hooked up for that. Then
we got a men's event in the same week. Hers is on Sunday. Mine is going to be on Saturday.
The following Saturday.
That following Saturday. It's called
True North.
No. It was something in my
See,
like I forgot.
See,
It's called True North, a purposeful harvest, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to have an all men's event group, kind of casual dress, but we're going to talk about finding our true north and what it means to take a look at us as men, finding our true north, getting down to brass tacks of what we can do better in this next season and what we have realized in this current harvest.
All right.
Right. So finding our true north, we're going to get into all that. All of it's metaphorical. We'll have cigars. We'll have drinks. We'll have some food. Some snack food. We may even play some pool because there's some pool. And we got some old school foosball, so we may even do that. But it's going to be a nice little event, and it's definitely going to be both events are going to be something to enjoy. And then there's a third event.
Yeah, the last one is Kings and Queens Giving, a spinoff on Friendsgiving.
Right.
And it really is talking about the royalness of your king or queendom. And how, as people of color, in particular Black people, that we come together and create legacy.
Right.
We really strive to be intentional about what we do. And a lot of times when people are talking about their lives, it's like things are just happening. I'm like, no,
right.
You are in control in some ways of what's happening to you. And so really getting in alignment and thinking about the seasons of sowing, reaping, harvesting, thinking about your harvest, what you need to get rid of, what you need to nourish, what needs to grow, what needs to die. Yes, I said die, because some things in your life need to die. I'm not talking about people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying behaviors, attitudes, beliefs, things like that. And so the Queens and Kings Giving is really about honoring the seasons and how we come together to build legacy. First in our individual lives, but then how you bring together that couple and then that larger community to continue legacy and building. So I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, we got some good stuff going on. And these events are definitely found on our website. Again, www.theobsidianluxgroup.com or www.aprilalmsparks.com. Okay. And they're on Eventbrite.
They are on Eventbrite, all of them under the Obsidian Lux Group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look at our name on our YouTube and you see Obsidian Lux Group, go on Eventbrite. We have now established a presence on Eventbrite. We're building a presence, right? And all of our events, whether free or not free, whether in Houston or in other areas, will be on Eventbrite.
Okay. Yeah. So speaking of all this seasonal stuff, April, autumn.
Yeah.
I'm all about the seasons. And so, and how we function in, utilize, talk about seasons of our life, seasons of change, growth, development, stagnation, all of those things. And so tonight we're really going to dig a little bit deeper into that. We were on this whole thing about the house the last time we met, and really talking about how we build ourselves up and have the crown, right? But it's time for us to think about what we've been doing this whole year or our whole life.
Right.
Because some of us think, oh, I'm doing it right.
Yeah, I'm doing
Everything is good.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Why are we complaining? I mean, my partner get on my nerves, or these children get on my nerves, my job get on my nerves, something get on my nerves. Mm-hmm. Well, we can do something about those things if we like.
Right.
Only if we like. So, yeah.
So what we're talking about today is the autumn audit. It's the autumn audit. Yeah, so we came up with that, and her name is April Autumn, and she came up with this topic. But seriously, the autumn audit, what's worth keeping? Okay. What's worth keeping in this in this current harvest? Because now this harvest, we're looking at the crops, we're looking at what worked, we're looking at what didn't work, right?
Right.
And so when we're doing that, we're trying to figure out what is worth keeping in this process, right? What are we going to take a look at to see if this relationship worked, if that relationship didn't work, if this approach to life worked, if this approach to life didn't work, and so forth and so forth. And so what we're going to talk about today is what's worth keeping from the harvest that you're reaping of this year, right? And this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about the harvest, right, I think we focus in on like one day a year to talk about harvest, which is Thanksgiving, right? And we eat a lot and we watch football games and get ready to go shopping for Christmas or the holidays afterwards. Mm-hmm. So kind of, but not really.
Definitely not really.
So what we're really talking about is, what are you seeing? What is your life yielding? What did you sow and what are you reaping? What benefits and consequences?
Oh.
Consequences, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
The consequences of maybe not even sowing.
Yeah.
And one of the things you talked about was not sowing deep enough.
Yeah.
Being surface level. Oh, it's so we could just go on.
So many.
So one of the things that you said, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually.
Right. You're looking at, you said Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving we're supposed to reflect. But so right now we're going to reflect on what we did this year. I say we, but you. What we did this year that worked, that didn't work, in the emotional, in the spiritual, and even in the physical.
Right.
And we're going to take a look at that. And when we're taking a look at that, we're going into something that says harvest. The whole thing is harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people kind of understand what harvest is.
Maybe we need to share more about that.
Loosely put, harvest is where you reap the benefits or the fallouts of the crops and the seeds that you planted, right? So the benefit is, of course, the crop was good, everything turned out fine, right? The downside to that is if you planted something and the crop didn't do what it was supposed to do, or whatever the case may be, right? It was a bad harvest. So the harvest is basically the gathering of all your work and deeds and stuff like that to see what the reward is and if everything turned out right.
So maybe you had an abundance, like you planted a crop and it yielded way over what you anticipated it to yield.
Right.
That would definitely be, a benefit, a win, right?
Right, yeah, that'd be a win.
But a loss
might
be if you had really horrible weather. Maybe it was dry. There wasn't enough water and your crop didn't yield what you thought it would yield.
Right.
So you have less than what you even thought you would have.
Right.
So you're in lack.
Yeah.
Lack.
Not lilac, but lack.
No, lack.
Lack.
You're going without some things.
Right.
So yeah, that's a very basic level of benefits. Or maybe you had something, is it boll weevils that'll come and eat your
Well, you got silkworms, you got
look, of course you
got moths. If there's moths, you have all kinds of animals that are insects, especially insects that can get into your crops.
Okay.
Anything from spiders, you have rabbits, you have wabbits with a W, wabbits. But you have all types of things that can get into, your crops. Mm-hmm. But then there are times where it's nothing and it's literally just the weather.
Or it's the soil.
All right. So, as we settle into the fall season, it's a powerful time to reflect on what we've cultivated emotionally, rationally, and spiritually. So with that started, I want to ask the first question of the session. And the first question is, what have you poured your heart into this season? That's deep.
Yeah. I mean, that is deep, but I think a lot of people will just think about it on the surface.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what emotionally am I giving to? Like, I'm giving to my kids. Okay.
Yeah. That's a typical one. I poured my heart into my kids this season.
Right.
Or I poured my heart into my job this season.
Yeah.
I really went for it, completed tasks, turning stuff on time, showed up on time,
School.
Yeah. School.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes relationships with spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend. Family, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think at the very bottom of that list, it's themselves.
You read my mind, man.
Yeah, at the bottom of that list, it's, themselves. I poured into myself. I went out and, got my nails done, or for women, hair done. I kept a steady haircut and learned about facials, for men or something, But
They can't really do that.
I don't know. I'm making it up. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't
Yeah.
like whenever we're typically talking to men about what they've done, what they've invested in, as far if we talk about investment and pour their hearts into, they'll talk about financial investments, things like that,
Yeah.
but not necessarily like really investing their time and energy into themselves and their personal development. It is something that is going to yield finances. So maybe it's money, right? I invested in the stock market.
Right.
Right. I poured more into my job. I did this. And you know, my thought about that is that's great. That's wonderful. But I'm not talking about your money. I'm talking about you.
Right.
And you are definitely not your money. You are you.
Yeah.
And so to take the time to pour into you and really find what that thing is, like you said, facials. And I wasn't like, oh my God, men are doing facials. No, it wasn't that. I'm encouraging, like, if you want to know what, got skin too. You want your skin to look ageless? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So do facials. But is that something that you really enjoy? And some men don't take the time to really cultivate that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we like to get our hair cut. Some of us have gotten into going to get a massage. In my bowling circle, it's acupuncture.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of men have gotten into acupuncture, but this ends to the means. So if it's like their knees or their arm or their back, they want to be able to bowl. So they go to acupuncture because massages don't work.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
For some of them, it's just more self-time by themselves. It's really just, it's not like, oh, we're taking trips more. It's just more solitude.
Yeah, and I was going to ask that question, like, if it's time by yourself, is it time to really reflect with yourself, or is it just time to, like, veg out? Which I'm not saying that vegging out is not something that every now and again you got to just, like,
you got to
sit down and look stupid.
Yeah. I think that's what it is, though, to be honest. It's called quiet time,
right?
In quotation marks. Because sometimes it's literally just watching the game, having a drink, having a cigar, having both, or having none, some food, and the game. Or a lot of men have gotten back into reading books. So it's, they need to be somewhere where they can read. So they'll go to a coffee shop, and sit and read or whatever. And that's their time before they get back in the world. A lot of it, for us nerds, it's gaming, right? Mm-hmm. It's the escape into another world from this world. So, it's the same thing. All of it's an escape.
Yeah.
And all of it's just a time to unplug, if you will.
Right.
But yeah, men, of course, it looks different for men as it does for women.
Right.
But it's like women. I'd say I think men are still behind women as far as pouring into themselves in that manner, like women do.
I'm still challenging the whole thing. Like whenever I ask people, they're like, the answer that you gave, oh, I get my nails done, I get my hair done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but beyond that, like, what is it that how are you pouring into loving on you, understanding you? I made the acronym, Plushing, being present with you, loving and liking you, understanding you, seeing yourself, securing yourself.
Right.
And I don't mean about, with money, like creating safety for yourself, right? What are those things? And then hearing, holding, and helping yourself. So it's not, what I always hear is that deflection or distracting yourself from your actual self.
Yeah.
But everywhere you go,
there you are.
There you are.
Yeah.
And so are you really getting to know you on a deeper level? That's why I'm like, that surface stuff. Yeah, I take myself out for a drink after work. Yeah. But what are you thinking about? How are you like getting to you? How are you really dating you? If you're taking you out.
Right. I think that's the thing pouring into yourself, because what we do we pour into everybody else, and then we think we have enough to pour on ourselves last.
Right.
When it should be us at the top of the list.
Right.
And then everybody else last, or whatever order you want to put them in. Right. And I think pouring your heart into your kids is phenomenal. Pouring your heart into your passion, your job, into building better relationships. All that's good and possible and great. But if you put yourself last at that list, you have already lost the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where that, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Like all of these things are happening. Things are wrong. I mean, I think I was doing okay. It's that intentionality. And even when you are in an us or a we, you have to spend time with you. We were talking to somebody and I said something about, yeah, I'm going to take myself out on a date. And they were like, whoa, you're in a marriage. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, you still date yourself? I was like, absolutely.
I think that the definition of dating yourself has been misconstrued, because dating yourself in the way in that example, it sounds like to the person who you said it to is like you're gonna go out and be frivolous with other guys.
Oh, I'm cheating on you,
right,
with myself.
Right. So it just, again, I think it's, word context, word play, word understanding. And behind it. So,
But even in a relationship, I have to be in love with me
to
show up fully in this relationship, to love you and be in love with you and do all the things within the us.
Yeah. Again, if you're pouring into everything in your life and you put yourself last at that list, you have already lost the battle. You have to put yourself first in that list, so you can be able to pour into everything else as you need to, right?
That really, for me, it makes me think about what we were talking about, the emotional labor that it takes to care for and caretake everybody else. That healing, growing, creating boundaries, forgiveness, all of those things. And so if you're not really cognizant and doing that work, if you're just giving and doing and then coming back to you don't even have I don't want to say strength because that's not true, but you're tired.
Yeah.
You're tired. Not tired.
Tired.
You're tired.
So in pouring into yourself this season, it's good to know what you've poured into. Where you have to get better at is making sure you're at the top of the list. You're number one.
I'm number one.
I thought you were going to go Nelly, I'm number one. You never heard that song?
Never mind.
Okay.
Anyway, but people think that that's so selfish.
Yeah. And it's not selfish. It's what?
Self-preservation.
There you go. It's not selfish to pour into yourself first. It's self-preservation, so you can be able to pour into everything else that you want to pour into.
I don't know. We were watching fails, and I don't want this to be a fail. But remember, there were like the wine glasses that were set up, it was like a mountain. And there was one at the top at the wedding. Yeah. There was one at the top, and they started pouring into that one, and then the overflow went into the others.
Yeah.
And that's what that should look like.
Yeah.
Right? Right now, my water cup is half full. Notice I didn't say it's half empty.
Mm-hmm.
It's half full. I need to keep this for me.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll drink it.
I know you will. I know you. Okay? I need to keep that for me.
Yeah.
I would need to pour some more to be able to share with him. And I should love from the overflow, not from what's in my cup.
Right.
And we typically pour from what's already in the cup, and the cup is close to empty.
Right.
And so we keep pouring, and we think we're doing something, and we're not really being effective in our pour. But that's
another because after a while, if you have nothing to pour, you're just going through the motion. But by the time you're just going through the motion, you're thinking that you're actually doing something. You're not doing anything.
Right.
There's nothing in there to pour.
It's just the arm motion.
You just did the arm motion. All right, let's do it. Yeah, see?
New dance.
You know why this looks dumb? if you don't have a cup or anything to pour, because you're just going through the motion.
Anyway.
Yeah. So make sure you're pouring into yourself at the top of this new harvest seed planting part of this season, right?
Well, I think the first thing to notice is, have you been? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you actually, or are you distracting yourself?
Yeah.
Or are you just like going through the motions of, oh yeah, self-care? Yeah, no, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you actually pouring in and doing the work? And if not, then can we get to a place where you actually do that work for you first?
Yeah.
But anyway,
the emotional labor behind pouring into yourself takes healing, growth, boundaries, and forgiveness.
Yep.
I'll say it again. The emotional labor behind pouring into yourself first takes healing, growth, boundaries, and forgiveness. Okay? Mm-hmm. Stop forgiving everybody else before you forgive yourself. Stop forgiving everybody else and let everybody else make it, but you won't let yourself make it. Right? Stop giving everybody a pass and you won't give yourself a pass first. No. Growth, healing. If you're carrying around grudges, old wounds that you haven't healed from, if you're carrying around hurt, you have no room to even hug yourself because you have all this stuff you're carrying around.
You know, it's funny as you say that, like the first thing I think about, again, I'm mad at them. I'm holding a grudge against them because and they did blah, 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 right? Yeah. What did you do in that?
Or what didn't you do?
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
We're so, and the thing that just blows my mind is 9 times out of 10, that person that we mad at has no idea.
No
and
clue.
Don't care.
No clue.
And does not care.
That's why you hear them say, they just out here walk around like ain't nothing wrong. Yeah, because they don't know.
Ain't nothing wrong.
To them. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong to them. Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, something's wrong.
They don't know anything that's wrong.
Nothing. So, hey girl, hey.
I think we have the tendency to give what we have to others because we believe they lack access to the same things we have. And we think that we will always have access to it.
Listen, I'll never forget when I first flew. That whole secure your mask. Everybody's on the plane. They have equal access to face mask if the airplane loses cabin pressure, everybody's mask falls down at the same time.
Same time.
They there. Right? Before you can help anybody else, you need to make sure that you are helped yourself.
Right.
And whenever I talk to women who have children, people who have children really, because men have said the same thing, they'll be like, no, I need to do the child first. I'm like, so let's say this is not a drill. This is real. Okay? Comes down, you, instead of fixing yours, you putting it on the child, the cabin pressure and now you passed out. And your child over there like, oh my God, mommy, daddy, man.
I think they missed that part where the cabin pressure in the atmosphere drops and you think you still gonna be able to breathe. While you trying to put
you super.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. In this whole thought process is I got more. I'm better.
Right.
I'm in a better position than you are. I'm elevated high. God knows my name. Listen, okay, we all have access. And I mean, I'm not saying like, hey, friend, this is a thing. But we don't just say, hey, friend, this is a thing.
Yeah, we
put on the cape, the boots, the outfit,
right.
And go save somebody.
Right.
Right?
She continues to say, we have come to the perspective that we are deserving of all the things that we so freely give away to others. Yeah. But it's funny when you look for it for yourself, it's nowhere to be found. Sometimes from the same people you gave it to.
you know what? Thank you for saying that, sis. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, thank you, God. When people come in the therapeutic process, right? They're like, well, how long this going to take? I got somebody in mind that I'm taking. How long this going to take? I got a meeting in a minute. And they think this requires no work.
Right.
Work. I always say in this process, this is work.
Real work.
This is work. People are like, we're just talking. No.
Oh, no.
Okay. We're just talking. Okay, let's keep talking then. Mm-hmm. This is work. And this work ain't free. That's why I keep putting it in this framework of the field and going out to your field and turning the soil over, right? We know who we come from. So if you in the South,
S-O-U-A. No, S-O-U-F. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. You know something about, well, your folks should know something about sowing and reaping because they had to go in the fields. They had to hoe and dig. That's work. And so in this season, I'm giving you this metaphor because all of this is work. You are the soil. All of those deep buried wounds and roots that you have within you that we think are right. My air quotes.
Or right.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the way I grew up, so it must be right.
Yeah.
That's what they told me in church, so it must be right.
My mama and them did it.
My mama and them.
My grandma and them did it.
So, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. What I'm saying is you dig it up and you look at your soil. I tell this story all the time. There's this coat my mama had. Remember the coat story?
Right.
Hey, Ma, if you're here, Lord Jesus. Anyway, one of my great aunts gave it to her, I think. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even going to lie. Anyway, she put it at the back of her closet. Didn't think twice about it. And one time I was at her house and she was like, oh, baby, I want to give you something. I was like, oh, okay. And she brought me that ugly coat. And I said, I don't want that. She was like, what are you talking about? I said, Ma, I have never seen you wear that coat. She was like, but it's Auntie such and such coat. I'm like, okay. I said, but I've never seen you wear it. I don't think you like it. And she was like, I don't. I said, so why do you have it? Why? Why are you holding on to things that are not beneficial? Just because somebody gave it to you. You don't have to do that. You can say, no, thank you. Just take it to Goodwill. Somebody might like it.
Yeah.
But just because somebody gave it to me, a thought process, an idea, a hurt, a trauma, something, that does not mean I have to keep it.
Right.
I can definitely get rid of that.
Let it go. Let it go.
So in this season, if you're just on the surface and you're like, la, 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 then you're not going to get to it. You're never going to get to it. This is the work. And so it's easier for me to be like, let's work on you. Let me get you some stuff. Let me get you some resources. Let me help you out. Right. And I'm a whole mess over here, but I'm going to focus on you because it's easier to focus on you than it is to focus on me.
Right.
Like I don't have stuff to do.
Like I ain't got to fix myself first at the top of the list.
At the top.
Are you seeing the fruit from these efforts? Or are there areas where you feel depleted? Yeah, because pouring into different things, like the first question talked about, what did you pour your heart into this year? So the second question is, do you see the fruits of your labor? Do you see the fruits of what you poured your heart into?
The thing that came to mind was martyrdom.
Oh, yeah.
Because we get pissed off because people don't act the way that we feel like they should act when we're pouring into them.
All right.
and giving them what they need or what they want or what they desire. Again, we're putting them, after all I've done for you, you gonna treat me like bop, bop, bop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
some of us have to really realize that it's not the amount you pour into it, because you can oversaturate your soil.
Overwatering is a thing.
You can overwater and destroy the seed that you planted. Some of us are out there literally thinking, if I just pour more into, if I just do more, if I just say and do, and it's like, what else can you do? What else is there to do? And so you have to realize that, sis, bro, stop pouring into that particular situation. Stop pouring into that particular person. Stop pouring into that particular relationship. Stop pouring. Obviously, you poured gallons and gallons of yourself, your heart, your soul, your tears into the situation, and it has not yielded any fruit.
That's where you do an analysis. You remember the crop reports?
Yeah.
You look at the crop. So over the past months, this has not done well.
Right.
Maybe we need to reevaluate the soil. Maybe we need to reevaluate this seed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to go to a different acreage on our property.
Plant over there.
So what's it say this time?
I was guilty of being heart-strong and strong-minded. I had a big heart for others and would make it up in my mind to help or save in any way possible. Took years before I realized that just because she continues, I wanted to help doesn't mean I should, because I'm only responsible for me. If my help wasn't asked for, it's okay to sympathize. It's not okay to overextend in their issues. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we think that we know how to save people when we haven't mastered saving ourselves. But all of a sudden, magically, we know how to save somebody. We know how to save somebody. That's crazy.
I think part of it is, so I want to help people become independent. I'm not for you hungry, I'll feed you a couple of times. But you got to show me you on the way to feeding yourself.
Oh yeah.
Right? Again, I need you to learn how to fish. Yeah. Because I'm not trying to create people who are dependent on me. I'm not. Yeah. I want people to be independent and helping them to have the tools to grow and stretch and become. And if they don't want to, then they don't want no help. I'm sorry.
I gave you the rod and the bait.
Right. Here we go.
Pointed you to where the lake was.
Right.
Or the river.
But last time you just gave me the fish. I ain't have to do nothing.
That was last time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so help. Help me. No, help you. You right. Help you.
Right.
You help you. Yeah, and I'm not saying that people don't fall on bad times. I'm not saying any of that. I think a lot of times we don't want to really get to the root of what it is and why we are there.
Right.
I had another client, she was like, I just gave one of my family members all of my furniture because I was getting new furniture. And then she came back to me and said, well, I'm getting evicted, so if you don't pay my rent. I was like, so did you sell the furniture? And she was like, wait a minute, what? I said, she's getting evicted. Did you pay her rent? She was like, yeah. I said, oh, okay. Is she working? No. Is she trying to work? Well, her and her man, Okay. You just taking care of people. So if that's what you want to do, you can't get upset when people do things that you don't want them to do because you've made it up in your mind that you want to take care of people. No, I don't want to take care of people. So how have you helped them to become independent? How?
Yeah.
There was no pathway to independence. There was just pathway to her pockets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listen.
I'm sorry.
We're going to go to part 2.
Yeah, because I got off on a tangent. I apologize.
Part 2 asks a serious question. In this season, who have you grown with, and who have you outgrown?
Jesus.
Now, I don't want you to think that this is just people. Mm-mm. This is also relationships with work, situations.
People, places, things.
People, places, things. It covers everything. And so I don't want you to think that when we ask, who have you grown with and who have you outgrown? Mm-hmm. I've outgrown a lot of things.
Do tell, love. Do tell.
Do tell? Mm-hmm. Okay. I've outgrown caring more than you do.
You almost made me spit out my water.
Yeah, I've outgrown that. I'm not going to care about your situation more than you, and it's not even my situation. I'm going to give you and your situation the same level, unless you're my wife. I'm going to give you in this situation the same level of care that you give it, because it's your situation.
Yeah.
I
get that.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and care about your situation, stress about your situation, and call you and do all these things, and you're not doing it for yourself. I'm giving the same energy. I'm like, well, what you gonna do? Again, it's your situation.
Yeah.
There are some people I've outgrown. There's some places I've outgrown. Yeah, just I don't want to go there no more.
Yeah.
Don't feel like going.
Yeah.
There's some and let me say this, and I'm gonna say it with my chest. There's some religions I've outgrown. Yeah. I believe in God, but some of these religions is for the birds.
Are you meaning like the pomp and circumstance of it, like the doctrinations?
Oh yeah, the
all
doctrination.
Of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how to do your relationship with God? Okay.
I've outgrown people telling me how my relationship is supposed to be with God.
I get that. I totally get that. Yeah.
I've outgrown worrying about your relationship with whomever.
Yeah.
That's why I said at first, I'm not going to worry about this more than you do. And that's everything.
Yeah. I get that.
And even if you worry about it more than I do, I'm still not going to worry about it more than you do. I'm still not going to meet you halfway all the way.
But that's the same thing. Like I can't give you more than I'm giving myself.
Exactly.
That's part of it. Like I don't know how else to drive this point home. I think we have been bamboozled to believe that caring for us is so selfish, that's so wrong. And I often take the Bible verse, the golden rule, if you will, love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? Yeah. And because that sentence is inverted, people take it that you have to love your neighbor first.
Right.
And that is not what that is saying. It is you have to love them as you love yourself. And that as can be at the same time, simultaneously. It does not mean before, right? And you can love you, but still set parameters. Just because you love your neighbor doesn't mean that neighbor gets access to you either.
Right.
Lord, okay.
Don't preach now.
Because love does not guarantee access.
Right. It does not.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the next question.
Keep it moving, baby. Keep it
Which
moving.
relationships are bearing fruit? Which ones feel like dead branches?
Wow.
Yeah. You got to establish that, though. You got to establish that.
And again, that doesn't mean that you have to make a whole production. Today, I'm going to cut them. They going to know how I'm going to let them. You ain't got to do none of that.
None of that.
None of it.
You take time and take inventory, and then you see what's been working, what hasn't. And if it's a dead branch, acknowledge it's a dead branch and then just roll with it.
Right. You said, and I love that you said this. Where did that happen on my paper? I'm sorry. It was about creating the boundary, healing, growth, boundaries,
right.
Forgive them, forgive yourself, move on.
Yep.
Here we go. Heal, growth, stretch, boundaries, forgive, move on.
Move on.
You don't even need to go talk to whoever. Just you move on.
Right. Right.
There was somebody, I'll tell a real quick story. There was someone that I had I wouldn't even say it was an altercation. It was a strong conversation with. This was years ago. And
strong conversation.
It was strong. Yeah. It was strong. And I can admit it. I overstepped the boundary. And we had a very strong conversation. And we were Facebook friends, Instagram friends, Fine. Okay. Moved on. I hadn't thought about it. I thought about the person a couple of weeks ago. And I realized that person unfriended me. I was like, oh, okay. Now, somebody might be like, oh my God, they unfriended you. I was like, I can see that. No, I was like, I can see. I did wrong in that. Yeah. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that I was wrong. That doesn't mean that person hadn't talked to me since then, because they have. We're just not Facebook friends or Instagram friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I could acknowledge, I could have been like, why we not friends on it? For what? For what? It wasn't even necessary. I acknowledged you did wrong. I could see where they would do that. I would probably do that too. Okay, Dad. And moved right on. Because it wasn't worth it. I acknowledged my wrong, and
it's like, but to me, I look at it like, I'm going to really show them. I'm going to unfriend them on Facebook.
I mean, but if that's what they felt.
Right.
Like if that was the process of them healing, growing, creating boundaries,
right, and
forgiving themselves and moving on. Okay.
Right.
I'm not going to get all huffy about their process. And really, like, we get on these, like, how many Facebook friends we have and Instagram friends and all of that. Yeah. And I could say the person is a real friend. They are truly a friend, and we've talked since then, and, talked about the issue and moved on. I was just going to send hey, it was good to see you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, never mind. I got their phone number, and we've talked since then. Right. So I'll just text, hey, it was good to see you, and move on.
Right. Yeah. Relationships that bear fruit, they come in all shapes and sizes. And again, it's work relationships, it's relationship with family, friends, spouses, loved ones, what have you, right? Mm-hmm. If it's bearing fruit, keep at it. See how you can get it to bear more fruit, right? If it's not bearing fruit and it's a dead branch, cut it off. Let it go. Stop thinking that a dead branch is going to grow life when it's not. It's not. It's a dead branch. That's it. And that's what you call it. And you say, okay, it's a dead branch. It's out of here. Right?
Maybe it's not the season for it to grow.
Yep, man. Okay. As we keep it going, Section 3, last section. What beliefs, practices, or values have grounded you this year?
Prayer.
Mm.
Meditation, stillness.
Yeah. For me, it would be the belief that even though it's bad, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Yeah. Prayer too. Prayer too. Praying the right way, understanding what prayer actually is, praying the right way, and like the know how to just keep going.
I think I'm glad you said what you just said. It's learning more about my beliefs and being curious about what I truly believe.
Right.
And not being afraid to question things. That's kept me grounded. Not being afraid to ask questions and search for answers and consider differences. And again, this is all for me. This is all getting to know me. I often ask the question, where does God reside? And some people will say, in the church. And I'm like, negatory. God resides within you. God is everywhere, but He resides in you. And so when I am trying to understand or process, I'm going in to see, to understand, to process, to question, to relate, to do all of these things. Because if I'm in alignment with my higher power, right?
Yeah.
I need to go in so I can go up.
Right.
But again, that goes to questioning, like, what is that actually?
Yeah.
So anyway.
I mean, I wrote something in here that says, you are perfectly aligned for the harvest you reap.
Oh, don't make somebody move furniture. Wow, because that on the surface, that sounds nice, but it's not really.
Oh, it's not meant to be.
I know it's not meant.
Yeah.
If you really heard what you said,
yeah, I did.
You basically said, if you're reaping trash, guess what?
You are aligned to put. You aligned yourself to reap what you did. It also says, or you are perfectly aligned for the type of treatment that you receive. If you want to change the harvest you receive, get in alignment with the kind of harvest you want to receive.
I mean, people say this all the time, and I don't think we really get it. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And if you're not sowing anything,
you're
just like throwing stuff, and you're not planting, and you're not doing, and that reap is still there.
You get a seed. You get a seed.
It is still there, and so I really don't think people understand. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's the way the universe works.
Yeah.
That's that's why it's so easy to go on the seasons.
Yeah. You got to learn to understand that when you're doing what's looking at your crops, doing the reflection, you got to understand that you're looking at the good and the bad.
And the indifferent. And whatever's in the middle.
Right. Because even though you can pour into something and have a good harvest of that one thing, there's still some little nuances in there that may be bad. Maybe you were expecting 50 and you got 20, right? Maybe you expected, 50, but some of those 50, for some genetic reason or whatever, let's say it's corn, instead of all yellow corn, you get yellow and black corn or something. So you have to look at everything. You plant the seed, you do the work to cultivate the seed, to cultivate the growth. You create a space for it to grow when you plant that seed, and you take time to nurture the growth. every step of the way, every day.
I had someone say to me, like, okay, that all sounds great in theory. I have no idea how to get started.
Mm.
And I can feel that. I understand that because what I know about Black and brown people is that we've not really been given the opportunity, the space to really talk, think, imagine about ourselves. Right. It's like we're running all the time, like in survival. I gotta survive. I gotta survive. I gotta survive. This is really what we're talking about: is getting out of survival mode. Is definitely not survival.
Right.
It is my favorite word. Intentionality is definitely being intentional. My word for the year for like 7 years now has been intentionality. Intentionality, really being intentional about the steps that you are doing, about what you are creating, about how you are moving, where you are moving to, what you are cultivating, what you are creating, what you are cutting out, what are you uplift, all of that. All of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Intentionality.
Yeah. I want to challenge to also add to that, do the beliefs and practices and values that have grounded you this year, do you think they'll work next year? Right? Because sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I'm like, you need to modify it a little bit because everything is a constant change. But I understand at the core of what that saying is trying to say. If it's working, keep working it because it's working, because it's yielding results. It's when it doesn't yield results is when you need to stop working it. And I would say, well, you need to modify it every time in order for it to work. Because just because you do it the same way doesn't mean it's going to work the same way every time. There's a lot of stuff in your life, relationship that you're trying to cultivate, with job approach, with relationship, with partner approach, with family member approach, that is just not going to work this year, even though they may be the same, but you are supposed to grow and stretch. So therefore you won't be the same. So your approach is going to have to be different. But some people will say, well, why would I approach? They're not going to change. They're not going to change. Why would I approach it different? And it's not about whether or not they're going to change, because their growth is not your growth. You're not supposed to be watering their soil first. You're supposed to be watering your soil first, tending to your soil first, tending to your life first. So your growth, whether it's happening or not, should always be your first focus.
Yep. Yeah. Just keep it moving.
Last question. Are you living in alignment with your values? What needs to be realigned before your new season? That says a lot. Because realignment means you have to readjust. Realignment means you have to look at the crops and see what worked and what didn't. You have to look at what we said at the beginning, what you pour your heart into, say that it worked, and see what didn't, and then make adjustments, i.e., realign yourself to get better results. All right? You know what you did this year. You know what you didn't do. You know the seeds that you planted, right? Because we always think is it something I did? And it's like, no, it's a lot of stuff you avoided. You sidestepped. You didn't go that way. You just did not do it.
That's what I was going to say. This takes an absorbent amount of vulnerability, openness, honesty with yourself.
Right.
And I'll say this, a lot of other people, I don't care, but don't lie to you. Because if you're, oh yeah, I did everything. Everything's right. The crops were great. And you know that they weren't. Let's be real.
Your crop's on fire right now.
Right.
Right. Burning.
Don't do that. It's because you will continue. What did you say? You will be in perfect alignment to continue to receive the things that you receive.
Yeah, you are perfectly aligned for the harvest you reap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to be really open and honest with yourself about what is happening and what is not happening.
Yeah.
What you desire to happen and what you're like, I'm sick of that happening. I'm tired. I don't want that anymore. Right?
Yeah. You have to be in alignment, and it's okay to make adjustments, whether your alignment is out of alignment or whether your alignment is in near perfect alignment, because every year, every season, every harvest is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So you are constantly flowing to align yourself to the season to get better results, to changing the dirt. Now you have different dirt. Align yourself with that. Align yourself with not even planting the same crops or the same seeds as you did the year before.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the alignment of getting yourself in tune with who you are, your wants, your needs, your desires, and what you actually need. You have wants, needs, desires, right? And then you have what you actually need in order for these crops to grow how they need to grow. And even after all that, you still got to put in the work. You still the work is unavoidable. That's a t-shirt. The work is unavoidable.
Yes, we got to make that.
That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt. Definitely.
The work is unavoidable because the work has to be there. It has to be there. There's no way you plant seeds, water them every now and then, and don't do anything else.
That's how weeds come.
That's how weeds come. You got to spray pesticides. You got to spray some bitch be gone, we used to call it. But it's for men and women. But you got to spray some be gone. Hey, out my life. Bye, roaches. Bye, people. Bye. You got to spray that.
Circumstances and situations.
Yeah.
Certain circumstances and situations, like you can be like, okay, I'm not doing it anymore.
That job, they always want you to work your butt off. You can't even sit down because you ain't got no butt no more. They didn't work it off. And you got to be like, it's time for something different. Your friends telling you, I ain't seen you in a minute. All you do is work. And as soon as you die or leave that job, they replaced you. As a matter of fact, in most cases, they're telling you to train your replacement.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, why are you risking yourself for this job?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, again, being in alignment with your values, being in alignment for what you actually need in this season that didn't work or you didn't do or that you should use for this next season.
Yep.
Yeah, because whether you do the work or not, harvest is still coming.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Every year.
It is continued.
Yeah.
It's been coming every year. So, well, this has been interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, this has been very interesting. I'm so excited that we are back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were busy. This is again harvest. That's all we could say. Harvest. Yeah. And I'm thankful for the harvest. There will definitely be some changes.
Yeah.
To what we will be planting in our new season.
Yeah.
And please stay tuned for the things that are upcoming and to continue to watch the harvest.
And also, now that we are back, getting some stuff where we're bringing on some actual guests again.
Yes.
Yeah. So expect guests, expect, different points of view, expect a lot of different things.
Yeah.
There'll be some solo shows coming back.
Yes.
And there'll be some other new segments and stuff that we will do.
And there'll be people calling in. Right. We're going to bring that back because that was actually really fun.
Yeah. A lot of people ask, well, are you going to bring the call-in thing back?
Yep. Yeah.
We're going to bring
ready
that
for
back.
That.
Yeah.
All right. I think some people are ready to go.
Yeah. They're small. They are large, but they are furry.
Hi, baby.
And they are ready to go. Okay. It has been fun, wonderful, and it has been amazing. What do you like to say? Give yourself a hug.
Oh, give yourself a really big hug. This has probably been very difficult if you were honest with yourself.
Right.
So, yes. Oh, okay. You want to hug me too? Great.
Daddy, I want to hug you.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Great. All
we
right.
are out of here.
Have
That's
a
been our
great
time.
one.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.